It's time for Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook, the best place in Nebraska to place your sports bets. And if you want to go to the casino in, give me that. No, if you want to go to the
Angry Ravi, he's back
to the casino in Omaha all October, every Saturday in October, they're giving away $500 in free slot play every 30 minutes from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then at 10:30, they're giving away $10,000 in cold hard cash to one lucky guest. Make sure you get to warhorsecasino.com to get all the details and rules. But that's where you want to be Saturdays in October. DB.
Matt rules or different rules?
Different rules.
Hey,
these are casino rules.
Out of breath, Brian wanted to know why you were yelling earlier. Is it because you wanted to bet on it?
Not specifically.
I don't think you were yelling at Out of Breath Brian, though.
No, I wasn't. We didn't get to Out of Breath Brian, which I apologize. He can call back anytime he'd like here. We had, I had some things I got to get off my chest sometimes, People, and Jared chimed in on the comments on YouTube and said that we actually were agreeing more than so he apologized that maybe he didn't communicate his original point. But I do appreciate him giving me some fuel for the fire there too.
Yeah,
because it's not just him. The reason I went off was because I've heard that narrative a ton.
I get the fact you wanted to protect Coach Rule in the presser.
Well, listen,
I know you did.
I
know that's you're like you could sense his frustration.
I could especially from there was a huge he looked so different Saturday after the game than we've seen him so far.
Yeah.
And you could tell there was a level of frustration and I don't blame him. There was, because some of whatever I was getting in terms of negativity at halftime had to be getting back to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I gathered from that.
You're going back to Sonny's call.
Yeah, from the tone of that press conference, right? And so that's why I was kind of surprised when Kevin said, "Oh, I never thought they were going to lose that game." And I believe Kevin, but I think he was more on an island than he realized.
Yeah.
Because I guess I didn't ask people specifically what they were panicking about, if they just thought, hey, Nebraska's actually going to lose this game. I know some people for sure thought that because they told me.
You gave Kevin Suits the double take when he said he at no point thought they were going to lose.
Yeah, because that was not the vibe that I was getting at all at halftime.
Yeah.
And I know some people specifically told me they thought they were going to lose. A lot of people comparing to Iowa State back in 2009 or whatever that was.
Where they had the 27 turnovers.
Yeah, and just shooting themselves in the foot and whatever. And I get that, but I don't know if it was specifically, they might lose or they're going to win in a way that makes me think they're bad now.
You know when I felt good? This is weird.
When?
And feel free to say, good Coach Rule said it. I liked his delivery to Jess at halftime. At halftime.
Yeah.
This is what we need. This is where we're at. And this is what we have to do.
And I asked the question to Kevin.
And I was like, you know what? I think that's exactly because I kind of know his man. I think I know him well enough now. I'm like, you know what?
He feels good when he doesn't.
I guarantee that's what the guys think.
And this is why I asked that question to Kevin, right? Because I think a lot of times we'll hear something like that and think it's coach speak and just say, oh, yeah, he's going to say that. He doesn't want whatever. I do think they needed that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's think back. I'm going to look at Nebraska's schedule right now.
Okay. Do you want to look back at Nebraska's schedule?
I would like to look back at Nebraska's schedule. When's the last time Nebraska closed a game
That's been,
well?
I mean, it's been a while.
It hasn't been this year, right?
No.
So not this year at all.
No.
Last year, it certainly wasn't at any point in November, right?
Nah.
We can agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going back at least a year.
And it wasn't
Minnesota. It wasn't Colorado.
They fumbled late against Michigan, so they didn't come back and get that one. That was the Martinez one.
Obviously, they lost Iowa, Wisconsin, Maryland, Michigan State, all right in a row last year. I think they got off to a fast start against Purdue and Northwestern last year in those wins. Illinois is escaping me. I don't remember how that one played out.
Well, how would you break down last year in Champaign? They almost gave it away. They didn't. I wouldn't exactly call that close.
I don't think they closed well, right? And then you've got the loss to Michigan. Before that, you've got Louisiana Tech, which they were up early, didn't close particularly well. Northern Illinois, I don't remember specifically how that one played out, but so we're going on at least a year and a half of not closing well, at the very least against power conference opponents, right?
It's not the result that I'm looking for, it's the process, right?
We know they didn't close well really at any point during the Frost era. So, yeah, maybe they did need this. Maybe that's not coach speak.
No.
Where, like, this was a 7-3 game going into the fourth quarter.
And I just think, I think it's really, really simple. Historically, they have lost those games.
Yes. Which I understand is where the panic came from.
No, I'm using it to, you know me. I'm using it to the positive.
I know.
I don't.
But I'm taking this in two parts, right? At halftime, I understand that's where the panic comes from.
The reason why I'm no fun to talk to, and I tell this sometimes to guys that want me to be miserable with them, I'm just not good at that because I've come out of the other side before.
Yeah.
So my personality, I think anything's possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest.
And you give people way more benefit of the doubt than I do. In situations, way more benefit of the doubt than I do. So when I'm the positive one, it's a little scary for what's going through other people's heads for me.
Yeah.
Because and Charlie DM'd me and said this. He goes, I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Because being pessimistic and being right is just a miserable way to go through life. Now, I'm not saying you should be delusional, right? There's a difference between being optimistic and being delusional. But what have we seen from Coach Rule? I'm not going to go back to all the other stuff, the last 10 years of whatever, right? What have we seen from Coach Rule and this year's team specifically to tell you that they weren't going to beat Purdue? Because we didn't even see anything in the first half that let me think they weren't going to beat Purdue.
Oh, I know. No, I'm with you.
They beat their brains in. They just didn't get any points.
I sure
hope so.
I was asking Sharpie real time during the game. I'm like, or at the half, I'm at kind of a loss for words how to explain this one because statistically, and I'm not even, that's where the conflict was because I try to get inside the numbers, but I'm just watching the floor of the game. Look where the majority of the snaps seem to be.
Yeah.
They were on Purdue's side of the field. I'm like, how long? Like, how is this 0-0?
Yeah, that dam's going to break at some point. And it did. In a pretty dramatic way.
So shout out to Kevin Suits. He was the first one that I openly said, and I believe him.
I do too. I believe that's what he felt.
Yeah, he's like, because he didn't even pause at the question. He's like,
I just don't know if he realizes how much of an island he was on. And maybe
is he?
Maybe in the media he wasn't, but among the fan base he certainly was. I think. Maybe I only interact with super negative people.
Yeah.
But I feel like I get a pretty good sample size.
So I asked, and I want to get to because I have a.
You have a bet for me today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lock, stock.
2 smoking barrels.
Yep. Go make mortgage. I think who did I ask if we realize that this is a big game or not? Oh, it was Suits. Do you think what do you think the perception is of Rutgers right now? Are we doing the tail tucking thing, or do you?
I think we think Rutgers is the boogeyman right now.
Are you serious?
That's how it seems to me. I think people think Rutgers is because we can't stop talking about the running back and the red zone defense and all this other stuff. Because that's how it seems.
Because this is I don't think this is. I try not to go all hyperbolic. I think this is a monumental game in the season.
Oh, I think it's a very big game in the season. I just don't think Rutgers is this big bad wolf.
I don't either. But
they need to win this game.
But this is a huge game.
Absolutely.
And maybe that was some of the tenor we heard from the presser. Maybe it wasn't so much, man, you guys don't know how to take the information I'm giving you. Because to me, it doesn't want to say those things out loud. They act like if I talk about it or we talk about it or whomever, that all of a sudden Nebraska's going to be like, oh, I'm not talking to the media. I'm just asking people kind of how they felt the tenor of. Yeah. Because I
thought it was a lot more businesslike. I thought it was
I'm a big tenor guy.
Yeah.
What was last week? Hey, they seemed angry. They seemed this. They seemed that. You know what it turned out to be when I asked you how it was going to manifest itself in terms of going to get it or being tight? Turns out it was tight, right?
Yeah. 100%. Started out. Well, I guess.
They were
the penalties. Yeah, the penalties. I think
it was tight,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So I'm a big body language vibe guy. This seems like they understand how important this game is.
Which is okay.
That's the vibe that I get from listening to the responses in the presser.
All right, real quick. What's your bet?
Take Mr. Freed. Don't call him Fried. Take the lefty tonight. It's San Diego.
Big Max.
Yeah. To shut down the Fathers.
Atlanta gets back on it.
Love the Braves in this spot.
There we go.
Love them.
That's DB's bet on it. Presented by Warhorse Sportsbook. We'll be back to wrap up the show here on Hurrdat Sports Radio.